top complaints that we hear from dentists all over the country for the last 20 years nearly always involve the management aspects of the business. I can't get my people to think, they don't take ownership, they don't take responsibility for things, and the whole business revolves around me, and I just feel like I'm doing it all. I want to share with you the top 5 mistakes that we see that dentists make on a consistent basis. And these are actually things that create the very complaints that we hear from dentists about their people. They're actually bringing it on themselves. I don't want you to make these mistakes, and I want to share with you as much as I can about these 5 things. Now, I have to tell you, this video is a little bit longer than what you're used to from me, but I felt compelled to share it with you, and I hope you find it valuable, and I hope you take lots of notes. The top 5 mistakes that we see that dentists make on a regular basis when it comes to management are, number 5, they're assigning people tasks rather than delegating authority. If you're looking for your people to take ownership, my experience is that everybody wants more responsibility. Everybody wants to take on more if they're worth their salt. And what I found is the mistake that's made is people are assigning tasks, and when you as a leader or the owner of the practice assign a task, then people are thinking, you've assigned me a task, I'm going to do it. And then they're going to sit and wait for you to assign them another task. Don't assign tasks. Delegate authority in a certain area. Give your people authority in a particular area. Prove to them that you have confidence in them, in what they can do with that area. Let them know that you hired them because of what's between their ears, not to do what they're told. That'll make a huge difference, and your people will feel like they have a say. And all of us want a say, right? Number 4, they educate versus motivation and accountability. Here's what I mean by that. When there's a challenge, I see doctors a lot of times educating. Challenge happens again, they re-educate. Challenge happens again, they re-educate. Education doesn't work. Motivation and accountability works. If you educate and educate and educate, it's not going to get you where you want to go. Give people that authority that we talked about and hold them accountable for taking the authority. Delegate that authority down and stop educating. When you put people in a position to hold them accountable for taking on that authority, and then you motivate them to take it on, only then will they be in a position to seek out solutions. If you just educate, 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 it's going along the lines of kind of telling them what to do. That's not where you want to go. Stop educating, start motivating, and hold people accountable for taking on that authority. Number 3, unfortunately what we see is, instead of communication, we see correction. Correction in terms of correcting someone's behavior. If you're looking to get the most out of your people, correcting their behavior is not where you want to go. You didn't hire somebody, for that reason. Put yourself in a position that you're communicating all the time, not only when there's a bad situation, but even when there's a bad situation, you're not correcting their behavior. You may be challenging the way that they're thinking in terms of where it is that you guys are trying to go, but you're doing that in a way that communicates that you have total confidence in where it is that they are and why it is that you hired them and how happy it is you are that you have them on your team. Communication needs to happen across the board always. If the only time you're communicating is when something bad happens, and then that communication comes out in the form of correcting behavior, you're not going to get the very best out of the people around you. Number 2, we see that dentists spend way too much time searching for the right kind of person instead of building that person. You could take a superstar, rock star kind of a person. They're never going to know everything that you need them to know in joining your team. You're going to spend the rest of your life trying to search for the right person. Hire the person that you think is a great fit because they share your beliefs, your values, and your attitude. And then build them to become the superstar that you know they could be when you hired them. Number 5. I'm sorry, this is actually number 1. And this is the biggest one. Expectation versus investment. And what I mean by that is expectation of the people around you versus investment of yourself. Listen, as the owner of the business and the doctor, you are the captain of the ship. If your expectation of your people is not what you're investing yourself in, they are never going to show up at the highest level. Another way to say that is, you can never expect more of the people around you than you're willing to invest yourself. You set the bar, you lead by example, you own the place. Whatever you do sets the tone for everybody else. Now, if you're investing yourself at a very high level, then you have every reason and right and responsibility to expect the best out of your team, because you're leading by example, you're setting the bar very high. These are 5 mistakes that we see. These are the things that are going to help you grow your practice. Put your focus on your people, building them, delegating the authority, motivating and holding them accountable, communicating, building and investing. If you do that, you'll be amazed at what your team can pull off in terms of supporting your patients, supporting each other, and supporting your bottom line profitability. Do this, your practice will soar.